Now, we've already seen some of the discrepancies between Jewish and Christian readings here. For many Jewish readers, the list starts not with the command to keep no gods before God, but with the invitation to remember the God who brought you out of slavery. Very different starting point. But look at how the words unfold here. The commands, as they are often delineated, are, you shall have no gods before me, and you shall create no false idols. By the way, in the Talmud, those two are mashed together as the second command because they start with the remembering, right? But then third, for most Christian lists, is don't use the Lord's name in vain. 4, remember the Sabbath. 5, honor your parents. 6, don't kill. 7, don't commit adultery. 8, don't steal. And 9, don't lie. Now, the final command is a bit of a 3-parter here. Feels a bit like cheating. God promised 10, but God was on a roll and got to the end and realized there was some bonus content, so it all got mushed together here. But the final command reads this way: you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife or his servant or ox or donkey. You shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. So, here's the question. Do you notice anything different about the first 9 and the last 1? I'll list them again here. No other gods, no false gods. Remember the Sabbath, honor your parents, do not kill, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not lie, you shall not covet. Did you hear it? Because it's subtle here. And honestly, I don't think I ever would have picked up on this without reading Jewish interpreters, but the first 9 commands are all external actions. Like, think about it. Keep the Sabbath, honor your parents, don't kill anyone. Theoretically, if I could watch you closely enough, keep tabs on you day and night, I could determine with a reasonable degree of accuracy whether you have been faithful to all of those commands. But 10, you shall not covet. I mean, what do you do with that? Like, legally. Who decides if you have broken that command? I mean, if I see you with one last long lingering look at my ox, do I get to take you to court over that? Or what if you just learn how to hold unhealthy desire and toxic jealousy very quietly, out of sight, away from view? In that case, does the whole command just fall flat and we ignore it? Well, a lot of rabbis wrestled with this, precisely this, and concluded that, well, maybe it's not a command at all. Let me go once again to Nahum Sarna here, but he writes that the Hebrew stem, that means the form of the word, focuses on a specific subject of desire, the sight of which stimulates the craving to possess it. However, because of an inherent ambiguity in the usage of that Hebrew stem, the meaning of this present command has been a matter of some dispute, complicated by such questions as whether desire itself or its avoidance can ever really be commanded or legislated, and whether there can actually be any liability for mere intentions or feelings. He goes on to note that the Midrash on this passage rules that one is only culpable when external actions accompany any of these covetous feelings. In other words, when you break one of the first 9 commands. So you covet, but you're only guilty when you commit adultery because of that covetousness. Or you covet and then you're guilty when you lie, or you covet, then you steal, or you covet, then you kill, or you covet, then you refuse to rest, or you refuse to allow those around you to rest. The point being, the last line isn't a command at all. It's the promise of the first 9. If you can do this, then you won't become this. And again, if the Decalogue is meant as this expression of this slowly budding relationship between the God who saves and the people that God liberates, then it makes sense to me that rather than just a list of commands, what God was trying to say all along is maybe something more like this. If you can keep me and my freedom at the center of your life, and if you can stay away from idols that box me off and close me down, if you can keep to only using my name when you really mean it, if you can honor and even enjoy rest, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you, if you can respect your parents, if you can refrain from the killing and the cheating and the stealing and the lying that characterized your experience of oppression, then what I will promise in return is a life that is free from the kinds of unhealthy desires that will drive you mad. The kinds of desires that will slowly turn you into the kind of people whose clutches I just brought you out of. In other words, this is God saying, if you can learn to trust me, then you will be jealous for nothing.